Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome, my dear students in grade 8, to a new lesson in science. Lesson 1 in Unit 3, Reproduction in Plant. Reproduction in plant. If we start talking about reproduction, we have to remember that reproduction is an important biological process because it helps the living organism to keep their kind from extinction. How can living organisms keep their kind or their species from extinction? By producing, of course, new individuals or new individuals of the same kind or in the same species. So when cats reproduce, they produce new cats. When dogs reproduce, they produce new dogs. When the elephants reproduce, they produce new elephant. And when the human reproduce, they produce new humans. The same in plant. Plant reproduce to produce new individuals of the same plant. This way, keep the living organism from extinction, keep the continuity of living organism. So the reproduction is a process aims to secure the existence of the living organism, keep the existence of the living organism, and prevent them from extinction. Before studying reproduction in plants, you should study the flower as a reproductive organ, the sexual reproductive organ in the plant. The flower is the organ of sexual reproduction, so we need to study the flower. The flower is what? We see a lot of flowers, very nice colors and very nice smell. Yellow maybe, red or pink or white colored. A lot of flowers have different colors. They are very beautiful to see and smell them. But you know, the flower is very important organ in the plant. The flower is the sexual reproductive organ in the plant. The flower is considered a short stem whose leaves are modified into reproduction or into reproductive organs. So, if we are talking about the flower is modified stem, a modified stem. The flower emerges from a floral bud, comes nearer to a plant leaf, green leaf called bracts. So the flower in the beginning starts with a floral bud. This floral bud emerge nearer to a green leaf called bract. Then the flower grows, making a special shape and very nice shape of the flower. The origin of the flower, it arises from floral bud, which emerges from an axil of the leaf called bract. The bract is the green leaf where the floral bud emerges from its axil and develop into flower. The bract, a green leaf where the floral bud emerges from its axil to develop, making a flower. Then we move to some flowers are called inflorescence. Why they are called inflorescence? Because many flowers grow on the same axil. So the meaning of inflorescence, many flowers or a group of flowers carried on one same axil. The structure of the flower. If we look at the flower picture, we can see the flower has a neck or called pedicel. The neck of the flower is called pedicel. And then after pedicel, we have a flat or swollen part called receptacle, which carries the floral leaves of the flower. And they are four four different floral whorls or four different floral leaves. We call them whorls, four whorls. So the receptacle is a swollen part upon the flower pedicel on which the floral leaves are existed. Now we are going to study the four whorls or the four different leaves of the flower. The first whorl is called calyx. Calyx has green leaves, as you see, and each one of them is called sepal. And the sepals make the calyx. Many sepals make the calyx. The importance of the calyx protects the flower, especially when it grows in the beginning of its growing, before blooming. Number two, the second whorl is called corolla. The colorful and scented leaves may be red in color, yellow, white, violet, and so on. The second whorl is a very beautiful whorl, is called corolla, and its leaves are called petals. They are colorful and scented, have a good smell to attract insects. These help in pollination. The next whorl is the male reproductive organ. The male organ in the flower is called androcium. It consists of many long threads called stamen. The stamen consists of two parts, anther and filament. Anther contain a swollen part, contain many of small cells called pollen grains. They are the male gametes. They are very important in the sexual reproduction. And the filament carry the anther. So the filament is long thread, is carrying the anther in its end. The fourth whorl in the typical flower, if the flower is typical, have four whorls, it is called bisexual flower. If it has the male organ, androcium, and also the female organ, which is called gynocium, the fourth whorl is called gynocium. It has many units called carpels. Carpels is like a flask. The carpel is like a flask. It has swollen part in the bottom and the long part in the end. The three parts made the carpel is made of is called ovary, then a long tube called style, then the opening is called the stigma. So the flower has four parts called calyx, corolla, androcium, and gynocium. Thank you.